An equation represents a state of perfect balance between two expressions, but an inequation represents an imbalance, where one side of the scale is strictly heavier or lighter than the other. Instead of a single equal sign, we use four primary symbols to describe this imbalance: strictly greater than, strictly less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. When it comes to basic addition and subtraction, solving an inequation works exactly the same way as solving a standard equation. Take a simple statement like x minus 3 is less than 5. We transpose the negative 3 to the right side, where it becomes a positive 3, giving us x is less than 8. The inequality sign doesn't change. Simple addition and subtraction don't change the direction of the inequality, so the relationship between the two sides remains consistent. But multiplication introduces a unique problem. Let's start with a simple, undeniable truth. 5 is greater than 3. If we multiply both sides by -1, our statement becomes -5 is greater than -3, which is completely false. Looking at this textbook excerpt, we find the mandatory fix for this error, the golden rule of inequalities. When you multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, the inequality sign must reverse. Applying that rule to our false statement, we flip the greater than sign to less than. Now, -5 is less than -3, and the math works perfectly again. Multiplying or dividing by a negative number inverts the order of values, so we have to flip the sign to keep the statement accurate. Let's apply this to a linear inequation. 5 minus 2x is greater than or equal to x minus 4. Using standard rules of transposition, we move x terms left and constants right. Simplifying gives -3x is greater than or equal to -9. To isolate x, we divide by -3. Before we do, predict what happens to our sign based on the golden rule. Because we divide by a negative number, the sign flips entirely, leaving x is less than or equal to 3. This textbook section shows that x is less than or equal to 3 is the condition used to identify our answers. To name those specific numbers, we need a replacement set, a pool of allowed values like natural, whole, or integer sets. If we are told our replacement set is whole numbers, we take the set starting at 0 and filter it through our condition. Removing everything greater than 3 leaves our defined solution set, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Ultimately, an inequality's true answer is a subset of numbers selected from the specific replacement set required by the mathematical problem. To plot this solution set graphically, we start with a standard horizontal number line. Because we are dealing with discrete, separate whole numbers, we mark 0, 1, 2, and 3 with distinct solid dots. We cannot draw a continuous line between them, as that would wrongly include fractions and decimals. This excerpt shows the protocol if our solution goes to infinity. We mark the first few numbers in the pattern with solid dots, and then draw a darkened arrow pointing to the right to show that the sequence continues forever. When approaching these problems, stick to a 3-step checklist. First, transpose terms just like a standard equation. Second, if you multiply or divide by a negative, flip the sign. Finally, filter your results through the given replacement set before plotting the exact dots. Mastering inequations requires very little new math. It relies on the mechanics you already know, paired with a strict awareness of numeric boundaries and inversions.